They say a crown shines brightest when dipped in blood. But what if the king wearing it was afraid of his own shadow? Hey there, story lovers! Before we begin this heart-gripping tale of power, betrayal, and redemption, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel right now, because you won't want to miss how this story ends. Now, let's step into the dark kingdom of cruelty, where one man's pride meets his greatest fall. The kingdom of Draven was a place of silence, not the peaceful kind, but the kind born from fear. Every dawn began with the same chilling sight, peasants bowing so low that their foreheads kissed the dirt as the cruel king passed through the streets. His name was King Varel, and his heart was as cold as the steel crown he wore. He ruled through punishment, not justice, through terror, not love. Every lawbreaker was whipped in the square. Every whisper against him was silenced by nightfall. To the people, Varel was not a man, he was a storm. Yet behind the walls of his golden palace, the king found no rest. He dreamt of a shadow that followed him everywhere. A silent figure wearing his own crown, whispering the same haunting words. "Your time is coming." Varel would wake up drenched in sweat, clutching his sword, roaring at the darkness. He believed power made him untouchable, that fear was strength. But deep down, a quiet unease grew, a small, steady voice asking, "What if they stop fearing me?" Then came the day of the great harvest festival, when the king forced even the poorest peasants to bring him gifts. Among them was an old man, bent with age, who offered a single loaf of bread. The crowd laughed, expecting the man's death. But instead of fear, the old man's eyes held calm, the kind of peace Varel had never known. "Your Majesty," the man said softly. "A loaf may be small, but it fills the belly slow and steady. Unlike greed, which starves the soul." The king's jaw tightened. "Are you mocking me, old fool?" He spat, but the old man only smiled. "I pity you, my king, for you've built your throne on fear, and fear, like sand, always slips away." That night, Varel couldn't sleep. The man's words echoed in his head. For the first time, the mighty king wondered if power gained through cruelty was power at all. He began to see cracks in his guards' loyalty, in his people's eyes, even in his own reflection. The fear he commanded began turning against him, and somewhere deep inside, he began to fall. Quick reminder, friends, if you're feeling the suspense, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. The next chapter will leave you speechless. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Weeks passed and King Varel's kingdom grew colder. Rebellions began in whispers, then in torches. Villagers who once bowed in fear now stood taller, and leading them was the same old man, the one with the loaf of bread. His name was Edrin, and his message spread like wildfire. Slow and steady wins the race. Fear fades, but courage endures. The king ordered his capture, but every soldier he sent never returned. The people no longer obeyed. For the first time, Varel stood alone in his palace, his throne room echoing with silence. In desperation, he rode out at dawn, determined to crush the rebellion himself. But when he reached the village, there were no armies, no weapons, only farmers, mothers, and children standing quietly behind Edrin. Their calm terrified him more than swords ever could. Edrin stepped forward. "Your Majesty," he said, "you could still be a great king, if only you'd rule with heart instead of hatred." The king's hand trembled on his sword. "You dare to speak to me like this?" "I dare because I have nothing to fear," the old man replied. "You've lost not because you were weak, but because you mistook cruelty for strength." Something inside Varel broke. He looked at the people, their faces no longer twisted by fear, but lit by hope. He saw in them what he had lost: peace. Dropping his sword, he fell to his knees. "I wanted to be remembered," he whispered. Edrin placed a hand on his shoulder. "Then change how you'll be remembered." From that day, King Varel vanished from history as the cruel king. Instead, tales spread of a ruler who learned humility, who rebuilt his kingdom not with fire, but with forgiveness. The people would later teach their children his story, ending with a single lesson that echoed through generations. Slow and steady wins the race, for no throne built on fear can ever last. And that, my friends, was The Cruel King, a story of pride, downfall, and redemption. If this tale moved you even a little, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more heart-touching stories every week. Remember, even kings fall, but the wise learn to rise slow and steady.